Hey everybody, Jamie Star here for the Jamie Star Music channel. I'll probably double this on the New World News Network channel because I suppose it is relevant in a cultural way. But I wanted to talk today about why I will not be pre-ordering the new Mortal Kombat game or buying it until it is ridiculously cheap. Probably not until they have all the DLCs out and release a legendary version and then maybe even wait for that version to go half price. I mean, I bought MKX for my nephew, the whole shebang basically for like $10 on a sale recently. I'm going to wait till it's at that point. Basically, I'm going to wait until it's all said and done and my purchase won't influence the sequel. Now, to be completely honest, I was really excited about MK11, and this is really difficult for me. I had told myself if there was one game I was going to pre-order it. Like, I was basically, with the way games are going lately, you're a fool to pre-order anything. Because, Battlefield 5, look at what happened with that. I mean, I liked the original, the one that preceded it, Battlefield 1, and then Battlefield 5 came out. It was a complete disaster, and then like 2 weeks later, I was able to buy it for $20. Far Cry, whatever the new one is, New Dawn, I just got that. Deluxe edition for maybe $30, maybe $25, I think. It was half off already, and this game is only months old. So there is becoming a increasing trend of games just basically having the prices slashed immediately after release. So you're a fool to pre-order in the first place. But Mortal Kombat, I love fighting games. Honestly, I think, as far as my interest in professional wrestling, if it wasn't for the video games keeping me into that aspect of it, I probably wouldn't be watching the shows or the pay-per-views like I do currently. So it doesn't matter if it's Street Fighter, which, the last Street Fighter didn't even come out on Xbox, Mortal Kombat, any of the WWE games, Dead or Alive, Tekken, Marvel vs. Capcom. I mean, I love all of them. Soul Calibur I did pre-order. And, so if I'm going to pre-order a game, it would be a fighting game. I loved Injustice. NetherRealm has never disappointed. But I try to do things on principle. I have told myself a long time ago I wouldn't see Quentin Tarantino movies anymore because I just didn't see the appeal of the you know what I'm saying. All the profanity and the blatant gore and all that nonsense and it just being so over the top. And I was just like, you know what? This is not good for me to be ingesting mentally for my psyche and all that. I guess I haven't decided that on Mortal Kombat yet, though, because the game, Mortal Kombat X was as brutal as it gets. And that will tie into part of this problem. So, in case you haven't heard, the people at Mortal Kombat have decided to intentionally desexualize the characters. Let me just move that into frame. There's Jamie Star Music. They have intentionally decided to desexualize the characters. Now, Mortal Kombat has always been known for the female characters, especially the ninjas and such, to be scantily clad. Doesn't even matter if it's the ninjas or Shiva or whoever. The girls always wear next to nothing. So let's just go into this article first, and then I'll tell you all of my personal thoughts and reactions to it. So NetherRealm confirms Mortal Kombat 11 females wouldn't have sexy items. They were purposefully desexualized. Brian says his team has taken a more measured approach with the art direction in MK11 that is especially true of the game's female fighters. And it basically says, some of you have noticed on the coverage of Mortal Kombat 11 that newcomers Jackie and Cassie and Katana, Jade, and Scarlet were all covered head to toe. This is basically the Sharia version of Mortal Kombat, where, the only thing more you could do is put a fucking bag over their head and have them in hijabs. And it says, Our character lead, Brendan George, has been a breath of fresh air in introducing new ideas. Our design is just getting more mature and more respectful. You're not going to wear a bikini to a fight. You're not going to be showing so much skin. I think it's just what the game is about. You're going in to fight for your life, and you're not going to be wearing such scantily clad items. I'm sure this will disappoint some fans. We don't have bathing suit fighters, and I think that's fine. If people are disappointed, I don't regret making the change by any means. Now, this is the overwhelming problem in the gaming industry right now, is you have these ideologues that are stepping into gaming that don't give a shit about the gamers and are basically saying, well, I'm going to do what I want to do that makes me feel morally superior, and, you know, if you don't like it, fuck off. So that's what I'm choosing to do. It's not even as much of a problem with the women and the outfits, even though I've always liked the female fighters more than the males. It's never been for a sexualized purpose. It's always been because I am more of a skinnier, quicker, more agile body type myself. So I've always identified more with the females being the quicker, more agile, more, you know, air acrobatics, or the same way I like lucha libre more than like the big hulking wrestlers and stuff in wrestling games. But it's more that these developers have this, you know, if you don't like what I decided to change about what you love, then fuck you, because I'm happy with what I did. Now, here's all the incoherence of this. First of all, if you had a problem with the way the women were dressed, I'd say you were slut-shaming. You're basically saying, you know, she needs to cover up, that's not appropriate. You're trying to tell a empowered woman who could slice your head off in a second that she looks like a slut and that she better cover up. She better be more modest. Like, it's very weird because it's almost like this social justice stuff in these games, whether it be DOA or this desexualizing aspect, is you would think it's a bunch of conservatives doing this. You would think it's a bunch of uptight religious conservatives saying, oh, well, women need to be more modest. And that's why I say it's like the Sharia aspect coming into gaming, because the left and these liberals are far more aligned with Islam. And that's what's going on, is they're basically saying, well, the women need to be covered from head to toe. Now, as far as realism, let's talk about that for a second. Have you ever seen an MMA fight? Other people, the Quartering, have done videos. Follow the Quartering, great channel. Done videos about MMA fighters, and they basically do wear bathing suits. They wear a sports bra and a little set of shorts, because if you've ever been in a fight, the extra clothes provide something to grab onto. And now here's the other thing. And here's part of the, you know, there's a line in here about someone calling this benevolent sexism. I think it's sort of blatant sexism, because now when we look through here, guy with his shirt off, covered from head to toe. Guy in a loincloth, he's at least got some pants on. Guy in a loincloth with a little bit of shoulder armor there. And more guys in loincloths, and Johnny Cage with their shirt on. So you know what the impression I'm getting from this is that these women are so weak and fragile that they need to be armored to the teeth in order to fight an unarmored man. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like these women need extra protection because they're inadequate compared to the dude in a loincloth. Now, I don't think that's what they were going with, but that just shows how incoherent this is. A bunch of men in loincloths are on par with fighting a completely armored from head to toe woman. That's just the way I see that one. Let's see. Here's the other thing. Where's the remark about benevolent sexism? Oh, here we go. If you're okay with Liana cranes are called benevolent sexism, where the women are covered up but the men aren't, and if you're okay with female characters not being able to show much skin but being mutilated from top to the butcher shop, then feel free to support Mortal Kombat 11 when it launches. For everyone else, there are alternatives like Soul Calibur, King of Fighters, and Tekken 7 that aren't afraid to embrace fan service and allow both male and females to be displayed in equal manners of undress. And that's the other thing. When you're talking about realism, let's talk about the X-ray moves. Let's talk about brutalities. Let's talk about fatalities. Let's talk about morphing into a giant fucking dragon and biting someone. Like, since when is Mortal Kombat concerned with realism? Oh, yeah, cybernetic eyepiece right here. Yeah, realistic. Jax's armored arms. Realistic. What about Devora? Oh, a bug person. Yeah, realism right there. Oh, yeah, these giant spiky, bone type things coming out of his arms. The realistic. We have a guy who does that. His name is Logan, right? Yeah, Wolverine. Oh, wait, no, that's a comic. Yeah. So, not realistic. I mean, this is such bullshit coming out of their mouths. So, I just, and here's the other thing. I will be the first one to say, when it comes to, I hope, here are just pictures I had pulled. Like, this is them now. Again, you can see even just from this, all of them covered head to toe. And then, compared to this. Now, I'll be the first one to say, ridiculous. Again, to correlate it to wrestling, you have Charlotte Flair, who, I mean, every time I see her on the screen, I just say, boob job, over, like it's she's saying, woo, and I just say, boob job, because that's all I can think, because they're just there, like, and it doesn't need to be like this either. Like, you don't need busting out of their shirts titties everywhere. Like, I mean, Katana there, it's more subdued. There are pictures of her in that where it looks like those little strings are about to just bust wide open. But it doesn't need to be like that either. Like, there could have been a healthy medium. There really could have been a healthy medium. And, they could have appeased everyone on all sides with this. But because they basically were like, can't show any skin. The only skin the women can show are arms, basically. It's just, I can't support it. I'm sick of this going on, and I want all of these game makers to feel the burn of the consumers, turning against them. Because this is ridiculous. It is. And the other thing that sort of bothers me about it all is that, with their logic behind it, like, I almost feel like what they want, whether they realize it or not, but I mean, you could say this even about the inclusion of trans people into sports, or the stuff with the video games and all this, where they really just want feminized men and masculinized women. That's all it is to it. And it's like, I don't know why we can't appreciate masculine men and appreciate feminine females. But instead, it has to be this swapping where it's feminized men and masculinized women. And who this is supposed to appeal to, I don't know. But it's bullshit. And I'm not supporting it. So, that's my take on this. I just wanted to put this out there because, I want other people to know you don't need to buy it. You don't need to support this. You should let your voice be known and then buy it when it's dirt cheap. Because why not? I mean, if you want to play the game, you want to play the game. I just have to say, I'm really disappointed. It's my birthday coming up this weekend. That was gonna be one of my gifts to myself so I could play it on the day it came out. And I'm just gonna have to sit this one out. I'm not feeling this. I did have a pre-order in for Dead or Alive, then I started seeing some of the stuff, and I canceled my pre-order. And I'm just, like the article says, there's other fighter games. I've barely cracked into Tekken 7, and I have the, Season Pass, Season 2, Soul Calibur I've barely started. I've been playing a lot of Black Ops and just other random Just Cause 4, and a handful of other games. I have more games than I know what to do with. I wish I had people who just wanted to come over and play them and stream them, and I would be all about it. But this shit's got to end, and I'm not supporting this shit. So that's my take on that. Have a good one, everyone, and make sure you subscribe to me at Jamie Starr on Twitter, Mixer, Instagram, at MK11 on Twitter, Instagram, and yeah, hopefully I'll have some new music videos coming on this channel, some tutorials and stuff like that. So take care, everyone.